Wait, are you gonna do a YouTube video of us playing this?
No. I don't think so. Is there a reason for us to do that?
We should do a Christmas video.
Well, we're not in the midst of doing one right now. I'm getting ready to talk about the fire starter sessions that I had here last night.
So, and I am in it.
You're in it briefly until I get up and walk into the office.
You're recording this.
I'm aware. So.
What?
Oh, goodness. Good evening, YouTube. Just sitting here with the family after seeing a rousing movie, Krampus. And now...
Don't do that.
All right. Anyway, checking out Krampus, and now I'm back fully fed after a family dinner and ready to just talk to you guys briefly about the Fire Starters group coaching session that went on last night. Had a great group of women. There were about 7 of us that got together, and I facilitated session 1 of this fantastic coaching program. So you know that my goal is ultimately to help women awaken to their power, to walk in their purpose, and to also win by using their gifts and talents. And the Fire Starter Sessions is a program designed to help women do just that. So last night we had the opportunity to talk about challenges to powerful living, or the things that limit us to powerful living. And the session went really great. I think that the participants got much more out of it than they even imagined that they would. We had the opportunity to talk about limiting beliefs and also the role that the ego plays in keeping you limited and keeping your spirit from actually wanting to fly and do the things that it needs to do. So I want to show you what the workbook looks like, so you guys will have an understanding of what happens. I just got up so I could go into the office and show the workbook, Asia. Don't take that personally. I'm sorry. So walking into my office, forgive me here, because I wanted to make sure I had the opportunity to show you guys what we've got. So this is the Fire Starter Sessions workbook cover, okay? The spark, the flame, the torch. And as we move into it, we've got some really cool things in there. Table of contents, disclaimer letter, my business card to make sure that people have the opportunity to contact me and figure out what's going on next. I have a disclaimer in there. It's something that all coaches should have, as well as a sign-off sheet and the ground rules for a coaching program, so everyone's on the same page. And in the 7 sessions that we have coming up, the workbook contains brand new information for that session, as well as coaching questions, coaching activities, and then the opportunity to journal, as well as any extra thoughts or things that they may have. There's some space for them to write that stuff down as well. I also have a feedback form that depends on the session. So the questions that I ask on the feedback form will vary depending on what session it is. I am trying to get very specific information so that I can make sure I'm able to alter the program or improve the program or make changes to the program as the client sees fit. So in the 7 sessions, we talk about, first of all, challenges to powerful living. That's session 1. Session 2, we actually declare possibilities, looking at, what the spirit side of you wants to do, what your life looks like if you can soar. Session 3, we actually identify your unique gifts and talents, and that's one of my favorite sessions. All 7 sessions are actually, but I really like helping women discover where they're gifted and talented, because that sometimes can be one of the hardest things for us to recognize. Session 4, we look at you discovering ways to actually live your life on purpose. Maybe you have an entrepreneurial vision. Maybe you are an employee and want to stay in that role of being an employee, which is fantastic. Or maybe you have a desire to just live out your purpose more so in your community or in your relationships. It really doesn't matter where you decide to do it as long as you have the opportunity to make it happen. Session 5, we're actually talking about leaving your mark and delivering your message. Each one of us is a messenger. You guys know I say that all the time. And my belief is that every woman who goes through this program will have a clear understanding of what her feminine fingerprint is. So, to me, that's the way that she's going to uniquely touch the world. And that's what we talk about, again, in session 5. Session 6, we actually look at goal setting. And there's a couple things that I've altered about the traditional goal setting process. We actually look at what a goal is and what it must contain in order for it to be effective, and go through the process of setting some important goals in order for you to move forward with your purpose. And then session 7, we create an action or an exit plan. So for whatever you want to do next, you need to be able to have a plan. Otherwise, it's just an idea. So I say action or exit because some people may have the desire to exit their jobs at work, but you have to be in a position where you are planning, at least if you want to make a comfortable exit at work. I'm not against leaping and just jumping off the cliff if you have the wherewithal to do so and you don't have a great deal of responsibility to other people, which could put them in jeopardy, or even you if you made the choice to do that initially. If it's going to create a great deal of strain and make your ability to get to your purpose so much more difficult, you want to gradually walk down that road of entrepreneurship or whatever your next step is. So those are the seven sessions. So I'm super, super, super excited about it. Got a lot of great feedback last night about women just understanding that their lives are so run by their ego, and them now having a strong desire to become more authentically who they are. Just discovering who that real woman is, discovering who is really there when that other voice that's always in your brain telling you you can't move forward, you need to stay in fear, you need to be protected. When that voice is quiet, who are you really? So many of us think that we are that voice, and thankfully we're not. If you have the ability to sit and observe it and hear it talking, you know that is totally just a separate function of your brain, but it is not all-encompassing in terms of who you are. It is not you. You are not your thoughts. So, just getting them to consider that last night and realize that the ego is something that they do have the ability to, if not control, at least have the ability to quiet and reconsider some of the things that ego actually tries to get you to do. Typically, all the things that the ego tries to get you to do are going to be not in your best interest. And it's not because the ego is trying to hurt you, but it's trying to prevent you from being hurt. However, in today's world with technology and, all the systematic things that we do from day to day, going to work, paying the bills, really being in a situation where we drive the same routes to work, we pick the kids up at the same time, or they get off the bus at the same time. There's not a whole lot for us to be protected from. So much of what the ego does today is put you in a place where you're afraid to step outside of the box and be different, or to step outside of the norm and walk into your unique purpose. It tries to shut that down because it's unknown what will happen when you make those decisions. So I really want to set these women up to be powerful. And I know without a shadow of a doubt that the Firestarter Sessions group program is really going to do that. So I will keep you guys abreast of what's going on. I'm, again, just super excited about the workbook and everything that is coming together. And like I said, I'll keep you guys on top of what type of results we're seeing and just where things are going next. So until then, have a super fantastic rest of your weekend.